How do you handle suffering and hurt? Do you express it, hide it, or change it? It's a cruel fact that sometimes talking about your grief can cause more harm than good, yet some people get twisted gratification from seeing other people suffer, even if it feeds their own anguish. This disconcerting mixture of jealousy and sadism, which can seriously impede personal growth, typically manifests in a variety of fears related to our lives, whether they are related to our jobs, our social circles, or even our families. Nevertheless, within each of us is a remarkable source of strength, a hidden power just waiting to be harnessed. In this video, we'll show you 18 profound Stoic principles of Epic. Let's begin with Principle 1. Listen twice as much as you speak. Have you ever considered the simplicity in this part of our anatomy? Titus, the esteemed philosopher whose insights have withstood the test of time. But there's more. We invite you to actively participate in this interactive journey of self-discovery and personal growth. So, for the next crucial moments ahead, let's focus deeply on what's being shared. Setting aside the usual daily distractions. 2 ears, 1 mouth is not just an accident of nature, rather it is a conscious effort to develop the habit of hearing the pleasures and sorrows of people around us. This was highlighted by Epictetus, who remarked that because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we talk. It's simple to add to the cacophony, but real strength comes in knowing when to be silent and in choosing to be a sympathetic ear to the world around us. By listening, we open doors to fresh views. Listening is more than just a talent. It's a bridge to understanding. Ponder before speaking again. Will it be meaningful, or are you only filling the void? Keep in mind that the most insightful lessons in life frequently originate from the experiences of others rather than from our own voices. Principle 2. Don't let other people's opinions and attitudes dictate how you live your life. Do you ever feel like other people's words and feelings can easily sway you? Every cruel remark and condemning look, pulling at your heart cords and controlling your feelings magnificent. In his profound insight, Titus reminds us that we have the power to control our emotions in this life's theater. Don't let anyone else's negativity control your emotional state. Yes, it's hard. Words can hurt. Attitudes can cause wounds. But the real reality is that when you give in to criticism or simmer in rage, you're ceding control of your voice. Take charge of my happiness. It's time to reclaim that key, not with anger or hatred, but with the knowledge that your joy and serenity are yours to manage. Epictetus doesn't sugarcoat the fact that this is a difficult path, but don't you think it's worth it to go back and regain your emotional independence? Isn't it time to let go of those constraints and find your own beat? Third principle. Prepare yourself to face the worst. Facing life's uncertainties can be quite stressful due to its unpredictable nature. For instance, we frequently discover ourselves entangled in a web of worries, the agony of a failing marriage, the fear of financial ruin, the fear of losing one's work, or concern for one's child's future. These anxieties change every day, resulting in an unending cycle of tension. Nonetheless, in this chaos, Epicuruss's wisdom. What could be more terrifying than that? It's a radical idea, but by facing our worst fears, Titus encourages us to embrace the worst and realize that these feared occurrences have already occurred. Titus presents an incredibly bold perspective. By facing them head-on, we create a path that frees our spirit from the chains of what-ifs and teaches us how to deal with life's challenges with grace. Accepting the worst may actually be our key to inner peace. Epictetus believed this, exhorting us to meet life's storms with courage and faith in our capacity to persevere and prevail rather than with resignation. Principle 4. Don't be afraid to fail, since it's the only way to advance. Imagine a world in which your mistakes serve as stepping stones, and every setback presents an opportunity to grow, not just professionally, but also fundamentally. Epictetus. The Stoic sage held that accepting the title of a fool was a good idea, since it shows that true growth occurs when one is not scared to fail or ashamed to make mistakes. True mastery is a constant goal and a journey full of mistakes that chip away at our flaws rather than a flash of brilliance. As Epictetus would say, it's not the spontaneous victory, but the hard-won battle that shapes us. So ask yourself, are you ready to fail brilliantly and be seen as a fool only to rise stronger, wiser, and more authentic? Because that's where true excellence lies, in the beautiful, messy process of becoming who you're meant to be. Principle 5. This path isn't easy. It's lined with frustration, self-doubt, and moments when giving up seems like the only option. But it's also where passion ignites, resilience builds. Keep it simple. Choosing to prioritize what genuinely enriches your life over material possessions is what it means to embrace simplicity. Imagine yourself surrounded by luxury, with all of your desires within reach, but among this splendor, a doubt remains. Wealth, as the Epictetus wisely observed, is not a possession, but a state of mind. By choosing simplicity, you free yourself from the never-ending cycle of bills, loans, and the ever-ticking clock of credit card payments. Does this abundance truly serve you, or does it demand your constant attention and energy? This liberation isn't just financial, it's a profound emotional and mental freedom. It's about finding richness in life, simple pleasures, and understanding that true wealth lies in experiences, relationships, and self-awareness, not in material accumulation. As we delve deeper into the Stoic wisdom of Epictetus, remember, the pursuit of wealth is valid, but it's true. Value lies not in its possession, but in its purpose and the simplicity it can bring to your life. Principle 6. Practice humility in your life. Epictetus, the wise Stoic, knew that humility is a quiet yet potent force in our quest for knowledge. Picture this: you're on a journey, not just any journey, but one where every step you take is a step away from the loud, boastful pride of what you think. This path leads you to a realm where you realize you know very little, almost nothing. This realization isn't a defeat, it's a liberation. It's the moment you start seeing the world with the wonder and curiosity of a child, where every leaf, every raindrop holds a lesson. A story epic teachers beckons us to this path, reminding us that the true essence of learning is not in accumulating facts, but in the humble acknowledgement of our ignorance. Here, in this space of not knowing, emotions collide. You might feel a pang of fear, the sting of vulnerability, and yes, even a touch of excitement. It's in this emotional whirlwind that we truly begin to learn, unshackled from the chains of arrogance. Principle 7. Recognize the risks associated with luck. Wealth is a double-edged sword that can both attract the dishonest people who pose as friends and have the power to distort our basic nature. The changes it brings about can be unsettling, leading us away from our core values. Understanding the perils of fortune requires a deep dive into the human psyche. The instant we seize this sought-after resource, we discover a new aspect of ourselves that we may not even like. This is the critical turning point where the seeds of moral rot can take root and begin to subtly erode our heroic character. The great Stoic philosopher Titus forewarned us of these risks with his timeless and insightful teachings. Remind us that genuine riches is found in the depth of our character rather than our money accounts. As we traverse the choppy waves of life, we must decide whether to let luck dictate our values or whether to remain steadfastly rooted in the ideals that define who we really are. The solution is in waiting to be found. 8th principle. Don't hold on to any one hope. Epic. The ancient philosopher Titus encouraged us to embrace a spectrum of aspirations, understanding that diversifying our dreams isn't a sign of indecision, but rather a strategy for resilience. Titus knew that life's tapestry is woven with threads of myriad dreams, not just one. Knowing the unpredictable nature of fate, he urged us to limit ourselves to a single hope. Consider this: when one dream fades, another may take off, directing us toward achievement in all of its manifestations. This strategy recognizes our diverse potential rather than instilling a fear of failing. It's a lesson in turning what are known as our Achilles heels into enduring and developing assets. Principle number 9. Never forget that you are mortal. At the conclusion of life, death lingers as a persistent reminder that our time is limited. Magnificent Titus, a shining example of Stoic wisdom, grasped this well. He taught us to face death head-on, not to cower in ignorance or fear as we navigated the turbulent waves of life burdened by the unimportant and fleeting. We frequently forget the weight of our own mortality. Our lives are a tapestry of moments, each one woven with decisions and deeds that all come to an end with death. So why do we waste time pursuing things that won't accompany us on our journey beyond the shores of life? Instead, we should concentrate on the essence of life, the love we share, the knowledge we acquire, and the strength we develop from our weaknesses. You're prepared for change if you've read this far. Leave a remark, click the like button, and remember to subscribe for more powerful information. Now, let's explore Principle 10 in more detail. Ever felt the weight of yearning for what you lack while the jewels you do have collect dust in the corner of your heartfelt appreciation? Spirit is true wealth. Titus, the Stoic philosopher, reveals an ageless truth and encourages us to rewrite the story. Consider this. True wealth is found in the richness of a contented spirit rather than the amassing of material possessions. How often do you actually take time to enjoy the small and large victories that you have already attained? Instead of falling victim to a never-ending cycle of craving, what if you took a moment to recognize the abundance in your life? The path to becoming a Stoic master is not about hiding your weaknesses, but about turning them into unwavering strengths. It's a path paved with the knowledge that contentment doesn't wait to be realized at the conclusion of a never-ending quest for more. Rather, it exists right now in the appreciation of what is, rather than in the regret of what isn't. 11th principle. Shame is a trap. Have you ever experienced the weight of guilt following you everywhere you go? This is a game we frequently play that has no way out. We blame ourselves and others, and in doing so, we find a false sense of comfort in avoiding the real difficulty. It's a difficult road to accept responsibility without letting guilt hold you back. Without a doubt, there are situations where it is difficult to resist the siren call to assign blame. But consider this. What if, rather than giving in to guilt, we choose to accept our mistakes and embrace the lessons of Epic? Titus warns us that feeling guilty is a trap, a scourge that shouldn't define us. It's about finding answers and being stronger, not about pointing out flaws. Principle 12. Make pals with victorious people. You may have experienced the feeling of being trapped in a room with someone who is nothing but negativity, draining all the life from the moment. It's as though they possess the ability to transform a positive day into a dismal one. However, there are those exceptional individuals who are rare jewels. Those individuals who, even on your worst day, make everything seem okay. It's as though they're the antidote to life's craziness. They make you laugh, inspire you to be better, and brighten the atmosphere simply by being there. It's not only about who is or isn't fun when it comes to choosing who to spend time with. Why settle for the energy vampires when you could be soaring with the stars? It all comes down to choosing whether you want to be pulled down or lifted up. Principle 13. Your responses shape your future. Life delivers curveballs, and how we handle them determines our path. Keep in mind that it's your trip. Make allies that help you turn your shortcomings into strengths. Composes our epic tale. When life throws a curveball, do you crumble or do you rise? Titus knew this and lived it. He didn't just preach about how we should respond. The unvarnished fact is that while it's simple to play the victim and wallow in sadness over a broken heart, a job loss, or an unforeseen setback, Not only are these times a chance to learn, grow, and redefine who we are, but they are also a forge where our character is put to the test and strengthened. It is in these times that we can turn our weaknesses into our strengths, our Achilles' heel into our armor. So when life knocks you down, ask yourself if it will defeat you or if it will be the driving force behind your success. Keep in mind that your life story isn't about what happens to you. Rather, it's about how you rewrite the story with every obstacle you overcome. Principle 14. Fulfill your duties. Meeting your obligations requires you to confront your weaknesses rather than merely checking boxes or adhering to predetermined roles. Taking on the task of transforming your weakness into a strong base. How often do we avoid obligations not because they are unachievable, but rather because they go against the fundamental foundation of our anxieties and insecurities? To embrace duty is to face the storm with a grounded commitment rather than naive optimism. It is to love ferociously and fight for what is right, and occasionally letting go when it's the hardest thing to do in this uncooked trip. Most all, you'll learn about the resiliency of your spirit. You'll taste the sweetness of victory and the bitterness of failure. Rule 15. Disregard those who despise you. It takes true strength to absorb the hate of others without allowing it to enter your own heart. Don't allow someone else's resentment of you break your spirit. Think about this. Shouldn't hate directed at you frequently be a reflection of the inner turmoil of the one directing it? Recognize their fight with Stoic beliefs, but try not to let it become yours. We acquire the ability to not only protect ourselves from harmful effects, but also to change them. This is about seeing that every thread, no matter how light or dark, has a place in the larger tapestry of life. You have the power to choose how to incorporate these threads into your own narrative. It is not about sugarcoating truth or downplaying the hurt of evil. Principle 16. Friendship is more important than money. Have you ever experienced the comforting embrace of a genuine friend at your worst moments, when even your own resilience seems to crumble beneath the weight of the world? Friendship is a treasure that is worth far more than the richest gold. It provides a haven, a location where shared human experiences instead of weaknesses define vulnerabilities. These are the times when we really learn the value of a friend, not as a shield to cover up our weaknesses, but as a mirror reflecting our actual selves. This deeper bond than the ocean teaches us that true wealth is found in the hearts we touch and the souls that touch ours in return, not in material abundance. Principle 17. Always see the positive side of things. Life can seem like an unending tempest at times. Consider the times when everything seems to be falling apart, as when you lose your job. It's easy to get lost in sorrow, but what if that's the signal to pursue a goal you've put on hold? Stoicism is about finding courage in hardship, not about ignoring misery. It's understanding that every setback is an opportunity for a rebound. You have the ability to transform your weaknesses into successes, so when life throws you a curveball, take it head on. Isn't it exciting to turn roadblocks into opportunities? Stone's rule number 18. Let go of the things you cannot control. You can work hard to achieve your goals, but the results are not guaranteed. You can care strongly about someone, but you cannot make them love you back. You can't solve every problem in the world. How do you handle frustration? The letdown. The epic of rage. The Stoic sage Titus taught us a straightforward but profound lesson. Concentrate on what you can control and accept what you cannot. This is the secret to learning how to not only hide your weaknesses, but also turn them into unwavering strength. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more empowering content, hit the notification bell, and show your support by liking and commenting on the principle that most resonated with you. 2 more videos are now playing for you to watch for more in-depth wisdom lessons. I appreciate you watching. Keep calm.